Good morning, people. I'm still finishing my morning coffee. How about you? I thought we would do some. Hey, now. Yeah, so I thought we would do some Gelli printing, only a sort of a twist on it would be we're going to be Gelli printing on fabric. I haven't broken out my Gelli prints, my Gelli plates in a really long time. And to be honest, I was kind of half expecting that they would be dried up and unusable because they've been in the closet since before I moved. They've been in storage. So I'm going to put the plates up there for a minute, and we're going to mix some fabric paint. Of course, you can use ready-made paint, but I don't have any, and I don't want to buy a whole bunch of a specific kind of paint that I'm not going to use that often. So instead, I bought some fabric painting medium. Yeah, Gelli printing is fun to do. I have, how many colors do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I've got some white, which I think is gesso, but we're going to use it like white. So I need 7 cups. Got some sticks. And we're going to mix. I guess I should read the directions. This is the Golden GAC 900, which is for fabric. It's a fabric painting medium. Oh, it's 1:1. Okay, that works. Does it have a safety seal on it? Probably. Yeah, so I have shelves on wire shelves on either end of the art table. And so I have a bunch of cookie sheets I usually use for to lay things on. If I'm not doing a huge, gigantic, massive batch or something really big, then I'll just lay them out on the cookie sheets and then put them on the rack at the end of the table. So we're going to do that today, and they can just sit there for, however long they need to. Now the cookie sheets do have like ink and stuff on them, some of which is water soluble. So will that bleed over onto the fabric? Maybe. Is it a big deal? Not necessarily. Yeah, I figured it was going to dry very, very, very slowly. I'm using these DecoArt Americana paints because I have them for the most part. I also have one Martha Stewart paint, and I have a folk art paint, just because they're the colors I wanted. I finished the slow stitch portrait of Frida Kahlo yesterday, over the weekend. And I've already got an offer, a request, I shouldn't say, inquiry about buying it from somebody. Oh, that Martha Stewart paint's really thick, so we might need to add extra fabric medium to that. That's really thick and chunky. Guess I should use that up. Good morning, Kathy. So I will be scanning or photographing Frida Kahlo and selling the prints. I don't know if it's gonna, the person who inquired last night is gonna actually want to purchase it or not, but I did get the offer. In the meantime, I'm really liking the slow stitch portraits, but I kind of would like to do them at least in part with some of my own fabrics that I've colored. Some of the dyed cheesecloth that I've been using on the portraits is from my friend Darlene Bromberger. She ice dyed some cheesecloth and sent me a bunch of it, which is fabulous because it's great colored sheer fabric for laying on those fabric portraits. So anyway, that's why we're going to dye fabric, because I want to do some of my own. Hey, Lisa. Oh, I guess that one's been, holy cow. Okay. Probably I need to use up this black. The fabric that we're using this morning is, this black needs to be used up. The fabric we're using this morning is actually muslin from an old ironing board cover that got stained. So I'm using what I have. I do have other muslin, but I wanted to use this up. So anyway, as people are coming in, I'm just taking some time to mix the paints. Well, I'm trying anyway. This black one's giving me an issue. I don't have fabric paint, but I have fabric painting medium. So we're going to be using that. Yeah, now, so I'm not going to do like thick amounts of paint. At least that's not the plan. Okay, I will probably fill this with the fabric painting medium and I'll, I'm that person that when you're making pasta, I put a couple tablespoons of water in the jar and put the lid back on and shake it up and then pour that in the pot with the pasta and the other sauce to get all of the sauce out. So I'll probably do something similar with the black paint. Yeah, so this fabric from this ironing board cover has been washed quite a few times actually. And when I realized I wasn't going to throw it out, that I was going to reuse it, I washed it again. And then I spent some time yesterday ironing it and cutting it out to sizes that would work better for today. Yeah, you usually have to wash the fabric, get all the sizing out. Okay, so we'll start with this black one. So let's see. So I'm that person with the pasta. Yeah, this is the Americana black, and it's just so thick and chunky. So I think I'm going to just do this. And that's how we'll get the medium in there. And we'll just, if it works with pasta, it's going to work with paint, right? If it works with pasta sauce. I started doing that because, it's, when you're broke, you don't want to waste the little bit of sauce. I'm still that person. I like to coupon, all the things. Okay. I guess I can put that in my purge box because now we've used up a bottle of paint. That's rare. Okay. Little flecks of black paint everywhere. So yeah, so I never like to waste things if I don't have to. And if it's an art supply and I don't feel like I'm going to use it up, I'm going to put a little bit more in that one because it was kind of chunky. Then I'll pass it on to somebody who will use it. I don't like to waste anything. So I did do some price comparisons, and at least where I live, this was cheaper to get than getting the little tiny bottles of fabric textile medium from like Michael's. So you might want to price it out where you are if you're going to do this. I just find, because I don't fabric paint that often, that it's usually more cost effective for me to have a medium around than it is for me to have actual fabric paint. And this is going to make this kind of runny, but honestly, like Nell was just saying, I kind of want it like ink. And if I have too much, then, if it's too thin, I can just add more paint. But if I have too much and we don't use it all up today, I have, the recycled jar hoard in the other rooms. So. But if I'm going to use this fabric to stitch through, then I don't want the paint too thick. I've pulled some stencils of my own, and I pulled a few stencils from the ones I have in my collection from my friend Mike Deacon. So what are you all up to this week? What kind of creative projects are on your work table? I'm going to be going live 3 times this week, but once is public for you guys here on YouTube, and the other 2 times are for those on Patreon. So if you're on Patreon, you're going to get to see me a couple times. I know this is just riveting, right? Whoops. I'm going to stay zoomed out because, you know, this is not exciting stuff. So I always have lots of these little cups and popsicle sticks around. I use them for lots of different things. I pick them up cheaply, like at the Dollar Tree. Don't spend a ton of money. Oh, I am really sloppy with this stuff today. Holy moly. Yeah, I have the, Nell was saying about the black, that brand just does it. I also pulled out the Dina Wakley Media Black, which I also have. It's almost a full bottle because I wasn't sure how much was in that one, but I think it's enough. So when you're doing like acrylic pouring or anything like this where you're mixing up your own paint, this is the part that takes a while. It's not super riveting. Oops. I swear I've had coffee. I haven't finished it though. Might be too watery, the green. While we're mixing paint, does anybody have any questions for me about art or my videos or anything? This one's almost empty too. Let's pour just a teeny tiny bit of this in there. Try not to put any fabric medium in my coffee cup because that would be not great. I don't know that I've ever jelly printed on fabric, and if I have, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember doing it. So that's a thing. Now, lots of these DecoArt paints were sent to me by DecoArt. I was part of the DecoArt Helping Artists program for a long time, till they stopped doing it, actually. And they make great and expensive craft supplies, but in the interest of being open and honest, they did send me these for free. That being said, I do buy lots of DecoArt products, and I would probably replace them at some point. Although I'm sort of transitioning to fine art paints, my watercolors, and then acrylic gouache for art journaling and not craft paint. Only having a little bit of craft paint for, you know, certain projects. Okay, this one's going to be interesting. This is the Martha Stewart one that was totally lumpy. So I don't know what this one's going to do. You know, it said 1-to-1, but I think these are pretty runny at 1-to-1, but we'll try them. Of course, I guesstimated and I didn't, you know, measure anything because God forbid I should measure something. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Nobody has any questions? Wow. I'm surprised. If you're like me, I always have a million questions. Okay, let's get my coffee out of the way. And let's move our paints off to the side. I was digging all of my tools and things out of the closet last night, and one of my brayers was so crusty and gross. It was disgusting. Okay, so we've got my big jelly plate. I've got one of my little jelly plates. And this is the fabric from the ironing board cover. I think we're going to start by, it's always getting started. That's always the thing, right? So let's just put some. Like that. Not too much. That might have been too much. Scratch paper. And then I'm going to grab one of the bigger pieces of fabric. Oops. I feel so rusty doing this. I watch, Patty Tolly Parrish and others do this. I just feel like I'm kind of rusty. Oh, look at that. See, that's kind of pretty. Let's see. See, this is why I put the nonstick mat down, because I knew this was going to get messy. I just had a feeling. That's a lot of paint. That was way too much paint, but that's okay. I'm going to take one of my stencils. That moved. Hi, Joan. I'm trying to just jelly print on some fabric. I'm a little rusty, but that's okay. I don't know that I like this yellow on this piece of fabric, but that's all right. So yeah, when you have to do something like replace your ironing board cover, that ironing board cover is just fabric. It's cotton fabric usually. So, just save it and then paint on it. That's what we're doing today. So one of the things I want to do, let's put some black over here. Just a little bit. So my favorite thing to use jelly plates for is as giant stamp pads. You just put a little bit of paint on the jelly plate, and then grab a rubber stamp. This is one of my modern atomic stamps. I don't know what set is this. Number 2. And then you just use it. See? Yep. Okay. I wasn't sure I liked that background, but yeah. I'll show you guys in a second. Hang on. Somebody just turned on some kind of power tool outside. So if you hear them kind of humming thing in the background, that would be why. So see, look. So that's just with the rubber stamping, using the small jelly plate. Holy cow! The small jelly plate is an ink pad, and I do that frequently. And I could see one of these little squares cut out and put in my meditation journal. That's actually really cute. So yes, today, as Kathy is saying, this fabric you're seeing today, this is from an old ironing board cover, and oops. I just, when it was done, I saved it. Okay. I think this color is a little bit runny, but we're going to just go with it. Yeah, it's a little runny. I really tend to be that person that really thinks twice when I am getting ready to toss or donate something. Am I sure I'm not going to be able to recycle this? It is to the point where it can be a problem. And I have to limit my space I store things in to a certain size. Otherwise, I'll fill my house up with things I can maybe use someday. So yeah, so this is kind of, I used Golden's GAC 900 fabric painting medium to create some fabric paint out of that and craft paint. Now, it says to do it 1-to-1, which made a very runny paint, which I'm not so sure about that, but it seems to be sort of working. I do think you have given me an idea, though, Joan. So we should try something. Let's see. I did pre-wash the fabric hope. When I realized that the ironing board cover needed to be replaced, but that I was probably going to reuse it for something, I pre-washed it and dried it. And then I cut it up yesterday and pressed it flat because it was pretty wrinkly. It is stained. There are some, spots on it that I actually had to replace it because I got something sticky all over it right there. And so then it needed replacing. Yeah, you've kind of given me an idea. I don't know if this is going to work. There's going to be a lot of paint, probably way too much. That's okay. Doesn't matter. Let's see. So this is kind of a technique that you would do if you were doing acrylic pouring. I'm just kind of wondering what would happen if we kind of did it on the jelly plate. That's interesting. I don't know that you can see that, but we're getting some interesting reactions with the Martha Stewart paint and the other paint. Hold on, let me see if I can zoom in for you all. Oops, wrong way, sorry. Hopefully I don't get any of you dizzy. So do you see that right there? I didn't do that on purpose. It's going to be way too much paint, but that's all right. I said that already, didn't I? I feel like I need more coffee. Is anybody like finding like a COVID side effect is that you just need like way more coffee than you're thinking, like ever? I think I'm going to end with white. Yeah, see, I feel like I edited the vlog last night. That was really pretty, and that was prettier than that's going to be, except that that's a lot of paint. I don't know we're just playing. I don't know. I just feel like I need to spread it out a little bit. Yeah, it feels like a whole year of Mondays. I've said that a couple of times. It feels like, oh, that's like a Rorschach experiment. Hey, Debbie. Yeah, I just seem to, if anything happens health-wise because of COVID, it'll be because I'm drinking way too much coffee. It's just a thing. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see that. You can zoom out again. See the little jelly plate off to your left? That's interesting. I'm on my second cup. I feel like I need a third cup. Okay, Linda, you just are not wrong. Y'all know me. I have trouble keeping track of what the day is and the date on a good day. And I don't know that we've had one of those in a while. I'm going to let that dry a little bit and then put a bunch of white on there and try to pull that because I think that's interesting. What do I want to do next? I don't know. Maybe some green. Oh, do I want to? Yeah, let's do this. Just a little bit of green. Oops. So if you're going to do some custom dyed fabrics for slow stitching, this is one of my Deacon stencils, by the way. I would recommend, even if it's a little bit fiddly to deal with, to do some of these thinner paints because stitching through thick paint is going to be really hard on your fingers. Look at that. You can see that through the... That's pretty. This is the one with a little schmutzy thing on it. That was one of the reasons I had to get a new ironing board cover. I don't think I want to do anything else to that one. I like the way that one looks. Okay. I'm gonna lift this up and let's put it on this one. I think I'm gonna be slightly off camera here. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just putting the stencil paint side down onto the a new piece of fabric and then brayering it down just to get all that paint off of there. And then that got me that, which is a good start. I like this going on, so let's pull that up. Yeah, so I do. I also have dollar store drawing paper. I know, look at my hands already. This is usually when I'm done, when I go into my husband's office and I go in laughing and I go, ooh, hug me. He usually goes, ooh, no, don't touch me. So look. Yeah, if we run out of fabric and I run out of things to do with fabric, I have paper. So paper is not a problem. Believe me, I've got a closet full of paper. I have done paper purge, but I still have a closet full of paper. But paper is a good idea, and especially because then my hands won't look like this. Put it over the fabric. Oh yeah, yeah. See, because then my hands won't do this. It might be too late now. I don't know. Might be too late. Yeah, because now I'm transferring paint into the fabric. I'm not the neatest artist on the planet, just FYI. Yeah, exactly, Linda. Exactly. Oh, see, look at that. I kind of like that. That would make interesting fabric to slow stitch on. Okay, and then we're going to take this one and do the same thing on this little piece of fabric I have over here off to the side. I'm going to put it a little lower than I did the first one and then brayer it down and get that extra paint off of there. Okay. Next, I wonder, is this drying? Maybe sort of. Let's put some white on there. Let's see if we can pull anything. What's just doing on this? Since I'm not sure it's going to work out anyway. Nope. Not really. What you can do, dang it, I put it away. Hold on. I've got all these wires and cables and things in the way. I've got to walk all the way around our room to grab the roll of packing tape. Now this works with regular acrylic paint. I have no idea if it'll work with fabric paint. We'll find out. Oops. Oh, yeah, the answer is yes, it does work because I just accidentally pulled some off. This is a quick, easy way to clean your plate, but also get like some sort of transparency that you can use in your, look at that. all clean. Yeah, so now I'm because I'm in Oregon and it's very humid here, I would probably need to wait a significant amount of time and let it really dry. It might even take like the day because it's very humid. Things don't generally dry fast here. So I'm going to take that. But like you saw, I can take the packing tape works just as well with fabric paint medium, evidently, as does acrylic paint. This isn't showing up super well on here, but that's okay. Oh, except that I maybe could do this over here. Oh, yeah. Hold on. I got to show you this one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I just like to make papers that are something sort of textural that I can use in a piece of artwork. I'm not looking to like create a landscape or anything on the Gelli plate and then pull it. There are people that do that. That's not me. I don't do that generally. But here's this like scrap one. So yeah, you might need to put some of these little scraps up here. You might need to what am I trying to say? I don't even know. Maybe work with adding a bunch of let's do this one. With adding a bunch of like slow dry medium to your supplies, to your paint. This is another one of my stencils from my Etsy shop. Oh, Kathy, that's wonderful. I have so many art journals that need finishing. Well, that didn't do anything. Not enough paint would be my guess. That's okay. We're going to do this. Yeah, golden open usually works. But I know the tape trick is really good, right? But in the event that it doesn't, you could just get some slow dry medium and then you could add that to whatever paints you have. And that should help. I'm really kind of a huge, when I first started with paint, I didn't understand why there were so many different mediums out there. But the longer I've been working with acrylic paints, and even watercolor, I understand now. And it's really more budget friendly to get a few good tubes of paint. And then, yeah, the humidity is an issue. And then I'm just going to leave this sit here for a while. And then you can add whatever mediums you need to the paint, depending on what's going on in your environment, what you want the paint to do, whether it's textile medium or it's a slow dry medium or maybe modeling paste because you want the paste to be thicker and textural. That being said, I found 4 containers of modeling paste, which I don't know why I have that many of them, but okay. So I'm going to be using them up on a canvas I need to work on. Yeah, and then okay, so I don't know, that white didn't do anything, so let's try that again. Let's do it differently this time, shall we? I'm guessing I didn't have enough paint on there. Yeah, matte medium would work, and it also will mattify the paint. So if you're using the paint in your art journal, then you'll have less chance of the pages sticking together. You really, though, want to spend a lot of time making sure that you've either covered your art journal pages with clear gesso or that you have waxed them so that things don't stick. I'm guessing the background color is just not dark enough, but that's kind of pretty. Okay, let's let this dry just a little bit. Let's go over here. Anyway, my point is that now I understand why there's so many mediums out there, and it's really more budget friendly to get, you know, the best kind of paint that you can afford for the project that you're working on. And then, you know, if you need to change it up to turn it into fabric paint or something else, then just get a medium. It's more budget friendly. It's not retail, you know, manufacturer friendly, but you know, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, crap, this one. You know, over the years, there's been lots of different videos on my channel about the stencils. Oh, and you know what I just noticed? Like, can you even see what I'm doing right here because of the light overhead? Hold on. You know, you guys have to remind me to turn off the fan light because that's what that was. It's not that I don't have lots of other lights around in the art room. I have over 90 stencils in my collection in my Etsy shop. There are a lot of them. Yeah, Lisa has some videos on my channel with my stencils. So does Margelle Shelley, Laura Gergain. I kind of want to see if I can pull this up onto something, but I'm guessing this white paint is too transparent with the medium. I don't know. Let's see. Will it show up on here? We're going to just try and see. I don't know. And yes, if you're doing this and you don't want your hands to be as messy as mine are at the moment, Nell had a great idea. Get some parchment paper or just cheap dollar store drawing paper out. Yep, that's too much. This is just plain old cheap packing tape. I kind of like the way this looks, so I kind of want to pull it. So That's cool. Yeah, it's too late for me though now. Yeah, you know, even if you don't create anything that you really like, just get out. If you have a Gelli plate, you've got paint and ink, get it out and give it a try because, you know, it's not doing any of us any good sitting in the closet. We bought these tools because they were fun to play with. And then if you're like me, then they just sit in the closet. That makes no sense. So when you are working with stencils on the Gelli plate, I just find that it's, you know, good to walk your fingers around to get the paper or fabric into all the little holes. Generally, you won't get a perfect print, especially if the stencil is too finely detailed. You want to pull stencils that are more open and simple, but you will get a print that's more like that if you sort of walk your fingers around. My computer just made a funny noise. Oh, yeah. So I do like my Gelli plates. I just don't use them as much as I should. And I think since I moved, this is maybe the second time I've had them out. I moved, for those that don't know, I moved from California to Oregon in 2018. All right, let's see. Where do I want to go? I still have some fabric scraps that I need to cover all of these. Like, see, that was the end of the ironing board cover. So let's put this here. Let's put this one here. If you, going back to the stencil thing and any of the products actually from my Etsy store, you can find videos and the design team members or friends that have used my products in their videos, generally by searching hashtag Gina B. Aaron's Designs. Most of them, I think, have used that hashtag. And see, that's just what was on there, cleaning up the Gelli plate, sort of. Okay, so what I want to do now is just do this. And again, I'm not going to, I probably have way too much paint here on the table, but that's fine. I do want to probably dye some cheesecloth. So I'm going to save whatever I have left to do that. Hang on, Kathy, I'm brayering, but I think you're talking about the dried poppy prints that you posted. And I did see them and I love it. It's such a great idea. Such a great idea. Oh, I wanted to try this. Holy cow. I pulled these last night for a reason. I picked these up on my walk last night. Hey, Barbara. Yes, I did see it, and I think it's fabulous. Such a good idea. I don't know if any of the flower heads we have around here would do that without crumbling. I don't know that this is going to do anything because I don't know if I have enough paint on here and if it's dark enough, but let's try it. I don't know. These were just some, I think they're oak leaves. I don't know. Well, it didn't do much on that one. Oh, it did on that one. Let's see. That's interesting paper right there. See, that's kind of an interesting accidental paper print. And just because I've got fabric paint medium in here doesn't mean I can't do this. Hi, Marion. And yeah, if you all haven't seen Kathy's post about the poppy seed heads, I think she posted it in a Life of Art and Self-Expression. If you're a member over there, you could go take a look. But it was really interesting, I have to say. It made me think, I wonder if the flowers by my house would do that. I don't think they will, but let me get some drawing paper. Hold on. Because, you know, I'm all like prepared and stuff. Not. That was a joke. All the doors on my closets are white, so let's see if I can do it without getting paint all over everything. All right, so got a pad of, this is just dollar store drawing paper. Nothing special. Let's see, here we go. It does, oops, a good job cleaning up your jelly plate. Okay, so with at least this mixture of fabric paint and textile medium, it seemed, and on the jelly plate, it seems like, and probably partly because I'm using this muslin-y fabric, which is like off-white, that the darker colors work better than the lighter colors, which kind of makes sense. So we're going to put some black, and I'm going to put some of the darker blue. I probably could put more paint than that because that doesn't seem like that's enough. That's the other thing. Hey, Petra. Hello, how are you? All right, and we're gonna, let's get a different stamp. This is Modern Atomic #1, which looks like that. I'm going to get the moon one. And let's do this. So the problem with stamping on the jelly plate or using the jelly plate for a stamp pad this way with paint is that if you want to save this image that's on the jelly plate to put on paper or fabric, the stamp pad wants to wiggle around. The stamp wants to wiggle around all over the place. And so that's cute. You have to like be careful it doesn't like go everywhere. Let's see. Gotta find a. Yeah, so I still have, I don't know how many of you have or even know what this is. I still have one of those Creative Memories, looks like a book stamp pad things that to wash your stamp pads in the closet. So I spray it with the cleaner and then I just scrub off the stamps and then let them dry. I am not good otherwise about cleaning my stamps, except that if I'm using them with paint or medium. And the other thing about using the textile medium is it's technically a slow dry medium. So it's going to stay sticky for a while. It's not going to dry really quickly. So you have time to get them washed. Yeah, so these are red rubber stamps. So you want to make sure you wash them. So it's really showing up better on paper than it is anything. See? Let's try something bright. Now, fun fact, orange and yellow are generally not my favorite colors in real life. I never wear these colors. They don't look good on me. I wish I wasn't a pasty white girl and I could wear these colors, but you know, they just make me look like I died yesterday. So it's not good. It's not good. Yeah, I have a few Creative Memories tools and the stamp pad cleaner is one of them and it works fabulously. I also still have a few of their stamps. There's just nothing like it. And you just open it up and one side is kind of the dirty side that you wipe all of the ink or paint or whatever off on, and the other one's kind of the drying side, and it works great. Now for me, for what I'm going to be doing with this fabric, if I have pieces like this that come out muddy, that's okay because I'm going to be cutting these up to slow stitch with them anyway. And so, yeah, for me, it's about the color, about like this little piece here, using it in a slow stitch than it is anything else. But, you know, that's kind of pretty. You might be wanting something that's less muddy. I'm not really, I'm okay with it. At some point, though, I have so many painty papers when I do this that I have to purge my bin. Oh, that's kind of nice. See, that's nice to add to like a journal page. I like that too. All right, let's see. You know, I have a brand new chair because my old one died. And I just got paint on the chair. Okay, it's off now. Nobody tell the husband. All right, let's do this and do we want to do it with this color? Let's put a little bit of this color. Oops, a little bit of this color. White, blue. Yeah, somebody's, I don't know what they're doing something. So I haven't Gelli printed on fabric before with this particular fabric medium and these paints. So this is a complete experiment for those who are wondering, who are watching now or who are watching the recording. So it seems like you need to put more paint than not to get a decent print, because that's a really good example right there. Let's see. Yeah, nobody tell anyone. Anyway, so you want to use more paint than not. And see, this is why I have a mat here. And Petra, I love Germany. I haven't been back in a very long time. My husband's family is from Hamburg, and we were planning on headed back to Europe this year, and that didn't happen because hello COVID. But Germany is fabulous, such a pretty country. I don't speak German. I get as far as sprechen Sie English. They say 9. It's usually the end of the conversation. Because yeah. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Barbara, I'm so sorry. I've had my fair share over the years of problems with hands, wrists, shoulders, as some of you know, and it's just not good. So see, look, that's with a lot of fabric on it, but look at that. It's a lot of fabric, a lot of paint. I swear, you guys, I need extra coffee to just operate as a normal human this year. It's because of COVID, I think. Yeah, we opted to rent a car when we were there last, and my mother-in-law was translating in the back seat when the GPS would say whatever it was saying in German. We got lost more than once. We almost ended up in Austria because it was fun though. Okay. I think I want to wait on that one. So let's do some more. We're not going to wipe this off. We're going to just let it go. So we want to put a lot of paint. It's okay to be messy. Be messy. And somebody is messaging me, but they're going to have to wait because I'm on with you all. And let's grab another stencil. Let's try this one. No, let's try that one. Wait a minute. Let's try this one. Do we know which one this one is? This is called Petals. Let's try it. Shall we? Do we think it's going to show up or not? No idea. So yeah, my husband is the German one in our relationship. He's 100% German. His dad was born there. His mother's, he's first generation on his dad's side and second generation on his mom's side. So yeah, that's kind of cool. You should see my stack of cookie sheets, you guys. All right, let's do this. Whoops. Let's do this. And he says he knows German, but he only knows the bad words from when he got yelled at as a kid. So, Cool. I generally don't wash off my stencils unless I've been using like modeling paste or something with them. Every like once a year or so, I'll take the worst of them and I'll soak them in a tub of water and Murphy's oil soap, like for a couple of days, and all the paint and stuff will just peel right off. So just FYI. Yeah, they'll be great for slow stitch. Some of them are kind of muddy, but that's okay. And these paper ones are going to be great for journaling because how cute would that be? Yeah, I think it might be, Petra. Yeah, I don't bother, Kathy, unless I've used a medium on them that will clog up all the, holes in the design in the stencil, then I don't bother. And see, that's pretty clean now. And I would probably even, like if I was going to stop now, I would probably even just leave that as like kind of clean and maybe turn it over and do that same to the other side. But yeah, I used to be super like compulsive about cleaning my stencils, but I'm not really like that anymore. I would like to get something more on this one than black, this one next to me. I think it might be hard because this paint is, it seems like the medium makes it kind of transparent. And some of it might be because I'm using craft paint. But we're going to see what we can do. I'll try to grab this. This is one of Mike Deacon's stencils. Reminds me of mermaid scales. I don't think that's what he intended when he made it, but that's what it reminds me of. We'll see, that one's just getting muddier, but I have to say, I don't disagree with some of you. I think that would be a really good like piece of fabric to add to some slow stitching. So I think I'm going to leave that one the way it is. I've got some little scraps here I want to print off before I switch to doing anything else. Look at my hands. That's crazy. All right, let's see. Put that on the paper. Yeah, the best color that seems to be working on the fabric is the black. Other than when I just do the drops in the center of the jelly plate. So let's try that again. Yeah, I like the look of it. It's not what I intended, but then when I start jelly printing, I usually throw my intentions out the window because it never really comes out the way I think it's going to, which is fine. Because I always end up with something I like anyways. We're going to try something else. We're going to do this. And I figured, you know, again, this was an ironing board cover that under normal circumstances would just go in the trash. So what was the harm in me, you know, experimenting with Gelli printing with fabric with it, because it was, you know, it was garbage anyways. So and I figure I would save that all of you, you know, some pain and struggles with trying to do this by, you know, doing it for you on camera. So, you know, that came through. This is thin fabric. So that came through 2 layers of fabric. I actually like the way that looks. So here's this one. That actually looks nice too. Let's see if we can get some more of that on here. A little bit. Okay, that's a bonus. I didn't pull out enough cookie sheets, you guys. Yeah, old white cotton sheets. If you like to go thrifting and you feel comfortable thrifting right now, you know, go to the department where they have the sheets and bedding and get just an old white cotton sheet. You know, you can usually get them for a couple bucks, and then of white fabric to play with and experiment with fabric paint on the Gelli plate. I am liking the way this is working. I'm just not used to doing it. So if I'm having any struggles, it's just because I'm, you know, this is my literally the first time working with it. So I have these 2 little like baby scraps that I want to get something on, and then we'll revisit the stuff I have in the cookie sheets. All of my stamps and stencils and artwork and all that stuff is for sale in the Etsy shop for those that don't know. They're not on sale anymore, though. You missed out on that. Okay. So I'm going to put this. Yeah. So, okay. So that, yeah. So the biggest issue is when you're doing a lot of printing like this, is a place for everything to dry. I do have drying racks, metal shelving on either end of the work table. And generally I put things on a cookie sheet and put it on the racks at the end of the table. But I do have a folding clothing rack, and I don't have it out right now, but I can put a picture of it and a link over in A Life of Art and Self-Expression. If you're a member over there, you can find it. I will also put a link in the video description after we're done with the broadcast and the recording is live. I mean, the recording is up on the channel. It is a really nice folding drying rack, and I just set it up in a corner of my arts, and I will hang things from there. And it holds a lot of stuff, and I can just put it up in a corner, and I can let it go. I'm revisiting. Let's see if there's one that I want to add stuff to. Let's do this one. Whoops. That sound was a cookie sheet hitting my keyboard. Yeah, so the folding drying rack works really, really well. And I have a bunch of like clips with hooks on them that I can hook to the drying rack, and I literally just hang things and they dangle. Oh, look at that, fingerprints. I was going to throw this little piece away, but I thought, you know, I'm probably going to get some interesting color on there at some point. That'll be great for slow stitching, adding to a project. And yeah, I'm not wrong. But yeah, drying rack and then some kind of clip hooks. If I can find the hooks too, I will link them also. But the hooks honestly are from Daiso, the Japanese dollar store that I use. And I don't know if they have them available anymore. Yeah, I'll post a picture how this does when it's dry, not only on the fabric, but on the paper, because I'm interested. It's one of the reasons for doing this experiment was to see how it would dry, what it would do, how thick it would be to stitch through, because, you know, I want this fabric for slow stitching. And you know, to do that, I don't want super thick. I already do slow stitches. By the time I get all the layers on there that I want, it's already pretty thick. And so I don't want to have any more thickness on it than I can help. So the sweater rack, yeah, sweater rack will work. Something like that that fits within your space that you can make work, that you can stack up in a corner. In the old studio space, I had shelves above my work table, and I had hooks hanging from the metal shelving. I had the wire shelving, and then I would just hang things from those hooks. Ooh. See, I sort of like that. That would be like a good journal background. So many things on my table now. So anyway, that's my playing with my Gelli plates. What's your favorite way to use your Gelli plates? And or the other question that comes to my mind is, what tool or supply do you have in the corners of your creative space that you are forgetting is there and you're not using? And how can we change that? So, you know, one of the things, if you've been following my channel at all this year, and especially for October, where I'm using the pencils for our Apocalypse 2020, one of my things has been going through my supplies, not quickly, slowly, and using it or losing it, doing sort of a project pan like the beauty gurus do, only art supply style. And trying things, using things up, and or moving them on to another home if they're just not working for me. Yeah, so you could use hangers. Now I'm looking back at the comments to hang something from a chair, definitely. You know, just depending on what your space looks like, you could string a string or a rope across, maybe a thin piece of rope across from, you know, one, I don't know, cabinet or wall to the other, sort of like a retractable clothesline. Cleaning off my Gelli plate. I'm not super careful about cleaning it, but I do like to get the chunks off. Pan pastels on the jelly plate. Yeah. You know, I also saw recently, and before I tried on my jelly plates, I want to watch the video again, but somebody was using alcohol ink on the jelly plate. I'm really interested in doing that, and doing that in conjunction with stamping. Could probably use any soft chalk, but I have only tried the pan. Oh yeah, you probably could. I haven't tried it with any of them. I don't have any pan pastels, but I am interested in doing it with powdered pigments, ink, alcohol ink. I mean, I don't care if it gets stained. That doesn't bother me. I'm not too concerned. I probably shouldn't be stacking these on top of each other, but that's okay. I'm gonna do this. Let's grab one of these, maybe this one. This paint that's down here is wet, so let's do this. Haha. Yeah, I've seen a couple people doing it lately, and I don't think I'm there yet enough to where I feel like I've seen enough of the video and paid attention enough to try it myself, but I do find it interesting. I did get more than I thought of paper prints than I thought I was going to get. There's some, evidently there was some glue or something on here, or dried up gel medium, and it got on the jelly plate. So we're going to spend some time cleaning that off. Over there. Move all my stuff out of the way. After we're done, I'm going to grab a little set of jars and put this extra paint in a jar because I want to save it. Ooh, something leaked. Yeah, can you see that? So while I'm not super crazy about keeping my jelly plate clean, I don't necessarily want dried piece of hard stuff on it. They are not super cheap, so, you know. Well, they weren't when I bought them. Now you've got a couple of different brands of jelly plates, so I think it's a little different now, but. Oh yeah, that's better. Now, one thing I found with the jelly plate, the best way to clean them off, I just found the easiest thing is baby wipes. You can use alcohol in it like a paper towel. You want to make sure you kind of put some like baby oil or something on them afterwards to condition them so they don't dry out. For your brayers, do like what I do every now and then with the stencils. I'm not super crazy about cleaning my brayers, but what I will do, like I have the one in the other room soaking that was really bad, is I will put a little tub of water and I will just let it soak for a couple of days. Okay, see you later, Barbara. I'll let it soak for a couple of days. And just like with the stencils, what'll happen is all this paint that's on here, it'll just peel right off. more personal messages. Anyway, so if you guys want to see me live again tomorrow, I don't know what we're going to do. Probably again drawing in art journaling, maybe with some of these we did today if I can get them to dry. And that'll be for patrons over on Patreon. So maybe YouTube memberships too. So it'll be, you have to be in one of those. I hate to exclude y'all, but any of you, that's better. So then what I'll do is I'll put this on one side and then flip it over and double check this side. That side's pretty good. And then put it back in the box. Sometimes it takes longer to do the cleanup than it does to do the art. Has anybody else found that, or is it just me? What'd I do with the other box? Somewhere. I put it down in a safe place. Did anybody see what that safe place is? Oh, yeah. Oh, there it is. Found it. I found this little one. This is the 5x7. This one is great if you like to just do little prints for your art journal. Then this is a great little Gelli plate. And even if you don't want to do big pieces of paper, you can do little ones with this. You can also do little pieces of fabric if you like to slow stitch. This is probably my favorite size Gelli plate, the 5x7. I have a few of them, but I think this one's my favorite. Okay, I messed this all up, so that's going to have to be, let's see. It's not like I don't have a lot of these because, you know, I do. This is something else. So these nonstick mats, they don't last forever. And I found that although the Tim Holtz ones are great, they're kind of pricey. And there's some Teflon nonstick baking mats that look identical. This happens to be one of them. And they're a lot cheaper, and you can get them in like a 5-pack. I'll try to remember to link those for you, but if I forget, somebody remind me. And when they get like this, to be honest, I don't always save it for using on the table. I may just let this dry and then cut it up to sit inside some of my cookie sheets and do other things with it. You can also like lift off some of this with the packing tape. Sometimes you need to let it dry though. It might not be dry enough. No, it's not dry enough. It's too wet. But you can lift it off with packing tape and stuff, or gel medium. You can put a bunch of gel medium on there and let it dry. So anyway, I think that's it for today. Gel printing on fabric. You should see the stack that we have now. This is just the fabric. We got 2 of these. I don't know where the other one went. These packing tape things. Oh, here. Got 2 of these packing tape things. And you should see all the paper. Like, it doesn't take long if you want to gel print like paper to make your own, you know, collage papers and paper background. It doesn't take more than a few minutes to make a gigantic stack of paper. And what I will say for collage paper, just get a Dollar Tree drawing pad. That's what this is. This one doesn't have the back on it anymore because I took the back off to do something else with. But you can get these 30 sheets for $1 at Dollar Tree. And I wouldn't spend a ton of money on the paper. I would do it that way. The packing tape gets stored between wax paper and or into a plastic sleeve protector. That's if I don't use it right away. Sometimes I just use them right away, and so then it's non-issue. I actually can show you how I store them. Let's see. So packing tape, acrylic skins, they're all pretty sticky. So I have this is an old ledger book that I took the guts out a while back. And I just made these these are sheet protectors. And then I put whatever it is in between. I cut them down to fit. All of these things are pretty sticky. This is, see, there's some packing tape right there. That's on wax paper. There's also some homemade washi tapes in here and some homemade masking tapes. I've had this way for a really long time. I need to use up more of these. So usually what I'll do is I'll find a spot in here and I will put them in here. Yeah. Wax paper works. And again, you can get wax paper at the Dollar Tree. You don't need to spend a ton of money. And I can show you how, let's see. Messy my desk is right now. So you can't even see it all because it's so messy. So that's it for today. Does anybody have any questions? Printing on fabric gives me time. Oh, Petra, I'm so glad. Yeah, I started out my creative journey as a seamstress, learning from my 2 grandmothers and my mom. And yeah, I still make bags occasionally when I can't find like an art bag that will fit what I need to have it fit. But I really enjoy creating my own fabrics and using them for sewing projects and slow stitching. So that was one of the reasons to do this. Plus I had that old ironing board cover. That's what that fabric was from, by the way, that I wanted to use and dye it and make something interesting with it. So we did that. And now I have all these fabrics that can dry that I can use. I mean, this one here, how cute of a small pencil case would that make? A little zipper pencil case. So there's some cute fabrics here. They came out a little muddier than I was expecting, but I'm okay with that. This is my first time with this mixture of fabric. So I think next time I won't do 1-to-1 on the mixed. I will do 1-to-2. So 1 part fabric medium to 2 parts paint. That would be my suggestion if you're going to try this. Do 1 to this to 2 of paint. Is do a little bit less of this. And or the kind of paint that you use makes a difference. So I used craft paint, which is a little thinner to begin with. If you use more art quality paints, you probably don't have to worry about it so much, but you want a thicker consistency than this. The one that worked out the best was the one that was thickest, which was the black, which is a thicker paint. So yeah. All right. That's it for today, you guys. Don't forget to support your favorite creatives how you can. There's usually something in the video description on their videos. So check it out, whether it's Patreon or an Etsy shop or something else. And not just for me, but for whoever your favorite creatives are. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Again, I am doing some lives for supporters tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. and Sunday, 3 p.m. my time, Pacific Standard Time. So if you are one of those, be sure to check it out. I'll be posting the link in the appropriate places for those supporters, you know, as I go live. So yeah, check that out. What are we doing? Don't know. Probably art journaling and drawing because that's been requested. Most of them are not sewers and seamstresses. They don't do slow stitching. So we'll probably be doing something more like that. And I still am working on the Artpocalypse journal, working with the pencil. Might be doing some of that too. Anyway, that's it for today. Don't forget to stay safe, stay healthy, stay creative. and go out and do something nice for yourself because you deserve it. And if you want to see these in their dried state, what I do with them, what I do on a daily creative basis, it's best to follow me on like Instagram or be a member over in A Life of Art and Self-Expression. You can find the links to all of those in the Linktree list of links in the video description. Sorry, I'm reading your comments and I'm totally losing track of what I'm saying. Because again, hello, I need more coffee. Yeah, Petra, so join tomorrow. And I will probably not be sewing. I'll probably be doing more art, but that's okay. I need to now go wash my hands and answer a few messages I've been getting. And I hope you guys have fun with this. If you have a Gelli plate and you haven't used it in a while, break it out. Try fabric paint on it. If you try the alcohol ink on it, let me know and let me know how that turns out because I would love to know. Hey, Christina, I'm sorry you're joining late because I'm leaving. I need to go wash my hands. But it's been fun. And again, I will be here for patrons and supporters tomorrow, 10 a.m. So if you're a supporter, a YouTube, blah, 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 blah. If you're a member of the YouTube membership on my channel, or if you're over on Patreon, watch those two places for a link. It'll be unlisted and not public. It'll just be for supporters, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to have some chat and do some art and yeah, all the things for the things. All right. I'll see the rest of you this time next week, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Tuesday. What will we do? I don't know. But if you have a suggestion and there's something you'd like to see me do, maybe it's an art journal page, maybe it's more Gelli printing, whatever it is, let me know. Send me a message and we will see if we can work it out. All right, that's it for now. See you later. Bye, guys.